Okay, I'm gonna do a video on wrapping now since I finally made my bows. They're all right here. Yay, bows. And I haven't flared that one out yet. And then this is specifically for one person in particular, and you know who you are. So I'm just gonna show you how I wrap gifts. I worked at a Hallmark for about 6 years, and it taught me how to wrap because I was wrapping a ton of gifts. And there's some tips and tricks to make your gifts look really professional. And so I'm just gonna share those with you today. I am in my pajamas. One of the things that is really nice about wrapping is if you have a big surface that's flat, and I'm using my hardwood floors, that helps, okay? And I'm in my pajamas because I'm on the floor and I wanna be comfortable, okay? And so hope you don't mind, because I don't care. What we're gonna wrap is this box. And I chose this one in particular because it's kind of weirdly shaped, and it's gonna be fun for them to like figure out what's in it because it makes a lot of noise. If you don't like to wrap weirdly shaped boxes, this is kind of a more advanced thing. You can just put it in a box, and with Amazon it's easy because you get probably lots of boxes. Just keep some that are kind of bigger, because you will, especially for kids, you're gonna have things that are oddly shaped, weird sizes, big sizes, so kind of keep boxes of all sizes. I unfortunately don't keep boxes unless they're small, because I just don't want to have huge boxes in my garage and in my closet all year long. Okay, so I'm just gonna wrap this like this. So how to think about this is that you're actually gonna wrap this one upside down. Why? I like the top of my present to be the top of the wrapping paper, and that's just kind of maybe a obsessive compulsive thing, but whatever. So for this one, because it is weirdly shaped, it's hard to kind of estimate how much paper you're actually going to use on these sides. So I'm actually going to probably just give myself more than I think I will need. So I'm just going to make sure that it covers kind of the whole side. Also, because it is weirdly shaped and it has this handle, it might rip the paper. And so what I want to do is make sure I have folds on this side that are maybe double side, so that I have more strength in that paper so that it doesn't rip. Okay, so I think about that. There's a lot of things I think about, but I think about that. I also think about how I want the gift to kind of look when it's sitting under the tree, because I like trees, and I like pretty trees that have pretty gifts under them. Okay, so I think about that too. Also, a good quality paper is really important too. So this is pretty thick paper. I can't tell you what the weight on it is or anything, but it is a Hallmark paper. I like Hallmark papers, honestly. I think they're really good because obviously I worked for them for 6 years. And you can get Hallmark paper for super cheap after Christmas if you just look for the sale. So like usually like after New Year's, there's a big sale at Hallmark like the day after New Year's. So I typically pick up a lot of wrapping paper there. This actually, my daughter picked out at like I think Sam's Club or Costco. She had no idea what she was doing. She just picked it out. It happens to be a Hallmark paper though, so I like it. This one's double-sided. I also like papers that are patterned, because if you have a pattern, you can match them up, pretty easily. So this one has stripes, and we're actually going to use the stripes. And so when you wrap it, it's really easy because the stripes will probably go together, and then you won't have to worry about that. You can be super anal compulsive, and if you like to match up, scenes like this, you can, but who has the time? Okay, this one's double-sided, so that's nice too, because then it looks like you bought more paper than you actually did. Okay, so again, making sure you have enough on that side. This is like almost my whole hand span is how much is here. I don't use a ruler or anything. I just kind of eyeball it, so I'm just going to use this as my hand span, and on this side I'm going to start cutting. So if you want to look at that, it looks like, let's see if I can do it. So you'll see. Another thing about this paper is that it's strong enough so that if I just wanted to like just do a strip, that's fine. And then if you have good scissors that are really sharp, it will just slice through the paper. But when you do this, you are putting pressure on it, so it could tear if you didn't have a good enough paper, which, I mean, if you go to just like, a regular store like Walmart or Target or something and get the cheapest paper, you are going to get what you pay for. Okay, so it may rip easily, which I don't like that. So, okay, so again, you have your paper here. I turn mine upside down again, and because I am going to use the striped side, I'm going to turn it around. So now use this pretty reindeer side is on this side. This is for a kid who doesn't really care about what the paper looks like. This looks like it could be a good one for like a masculine kind of present or something. This kid is a boy, but there's nothing to do with that. Okay, so again, if you see here, already, you don't have to worry about anything. So this one's easy. So you just pull the paper and you'll see that it lines up really nicely when you tape it, and so it'll look like you won't see it really a seam. The other way to do this, if you don't want to see a seam, is to pull the paper so that, pull it back here, so that when you wrap it like this one's going to be really close to the edge. You can wrap the seam close to the edge, okay? So that way so this one, if you did it this way, it's very close to the edge. You see that? And you won't see a seam either. So if you have a box or something, or a pattern or something that you don't want to see the seam, it's hidden a lot better on an edge side. So just pull the paper until you get that seam on the edge side. The other thing you would do is you would kind of fold the paper in, especially if you don't have a straight edge, because maybe your cut was a little bit messy or something. You could always just fold the paper in and make a straight edge, and then tape it down. And so that's another trick, tip, whatever. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. And I just want to make sure I have enough on both sides, which it looks like this is going to be great. So I'm going to actually probably have 3 layers on that handle side to kind of help me. And I try to go evenly on both sides. So I'm just kind of pushing this down, make sure I have enough paper on both sides. Okay, and again, this is probably more paper than I would typically use on a present, but okay. And then the other trick is to really, and again, you need strong paper to do this, because if you don't, you may rip your paper and then have to start over. You want a strong paper so that you can really make the paper tight around the present, and that's also how you make it really professional, if it looks really tight. And so that's kind of what I want to do here. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to do the sides, and typically I just flip it over. And again, how to make really kind of professional things is crease down every side so that it's very clean. So you want clean edges. Same thing here. So even though this is a little bit weirdly shaped, you can still get a clean edge and just cinch every edge down. Okay, so I'm doing that on this side as well. Okay, so now, as you see, this handle hopefully won't tear the paper. Okay, so now you can tape this down if you'd like. And again, if you want a really nice seam, you can tape it down. That's the other secret. Use a lot of tape. So, and then you can also hide the tape. So hide the tape, which this will be hidden by the time this will be hidden by the time I get it all coming out. Okay, so again, I use the floor and just cinch everything down and like that. You see that? There we go. Same thing on this side. Okay, so if you do this right and have enough paper, you'll get this nice peak at the end when you cinch everything down. Okay, so that's kind of what you see here. Right? Pretty. That's it. So now you've got one layer of paper. There's 2 more here, 2 more here, 2 more here, 2 more here, because you've folded it. And this side now will not rip. Pretty cool. Okay, so that's kind of what you think about when you wrap. Now you can also, if you don't want the peak, or if it's too high and you don't want to tape it all the way up there, you can also fold this down, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And again, you have another layer of paper there to protect that handle so that it doesn't rip your paper. So I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. same thing. Pull this. Put it over here so you can see. So pull this down. And then cinch all this down. Same thing here. Make sure you have a flip up. So probably should start at the top. Cinch all that down. And come over to the side. Cinch all this down. And then this side as well. Tape here. So to kind of just keep this area. You know, this you won't see by the time you put it down. Over here, and now you have that. Okay, so now I have extra paper here, which I'm just going to fold back that way, and then that goes up like so. And again, you've got really nice, like several layers of paper here, so that it doesn't rip that handle. I'm going to pull this up. Okay, so the other thing you can do is if you want all the sides to match like that, that's you can kind of look and make sure that that happens too. Now, if I was a better wrap, well, this one's harder to do, but if you had just a regular box, these would all match up. These stripes would pretty much match up to where you were, but because this is a regular shape, it's not going to. But that's how you make it look professional, is if you match up sides and stripes and blah, blah, blah. Okay, there you go. We've got this fun little box here. Now, you guys saw my bows before, so this is a pretty big box. Now, if I had made these tails longer, you could put it at the front here, and it kind of can go through the sides, or you can put it on top. And we're just gonna put this on top. And I'm just gonna put it on like this. And you can set it under the tree just like this too. I think I do have one with a longer tail. Hold on. I think this one's the longest. So yeah, this one has a longer tail, so you could just pull this all the way around like this, and I would tape the tails on the back. And you're not going to see this because it's going to, so I would just tape each tail to the bottom of this. And usually I use box tape because I feel it's stickier. And then you have the bow in front. And then you can pull this bow out to flare it out. This is the bow I just made, and you could flare these little loops out so that it looks really pretty. I'm going to do a linear bow on this one because everything is really linear, like the stripes, and clean. And this little boy probably won't care about this bow or anything else, but you know what? I do, and I think it's fun. Okay, so again, it looks something like this. Okay, and if you had more ribbon, you could like put another strip around here. But again, this little boy doesn't care about all that. All right, so that's how you would do that. So those are the tips and tricks that I wanted to show you on there. I'll do another one with just a regular smaller box. It's not as difficult too. Okay, thanks. Bye.